Hello, club members. God, that sounded cheesy. Welcome to the DOKI Literature Club 5-year anniversary special. Yep, 5 years of DDLC, baby. Can you believe that? Even though I haven't been around to enjoy it for even a year so far. Honestly, I just couldn't pass up the opportunity to talk about this game again, as it's something I've wanted to do since my original video, which to this day is my longest video that I'm actually proud of, clocking in around 19 minutes. It's pretty much my magnum opus, if you will, so it makes sense to do a follow-up. I think I even brought up doing that. I'll admit it feels weird making multiple videos on the same topic. Usually when I discuss something, that's it. It's a one-stop talk, in and out, one moment to shine, never again. Mostly because I only need one video to give my thoughts on something. But now, this is my chance to talk about some stuff I left out. Plus, there's a few updates I want to make, especially now that I've graduated high school. I already went in full detail about my love for this game, so I'm not gonna retread what's been said and done. But anyways, let's just get started. My opinions on the game itself haven't changed, but now that I've graduated high school, my perspective definitely has. Cause now I feel DDLC serves as a reminder of all the things I could have done while I was still in school. Like, why did I not bother looking for a club to join until the very end of senior year? Why me? Why? Anyway, every time I go back through the game itself, I end up noticing all kinds of new things, like how Monika's forward-positioned face and different socks point to her being special, or how Sayori's noose was hanging from what exactly was it hanging from? The ceiling fan? Nah, that thing would have fallen by now. Is this another Encanto rope in Bruno's room mistake thing again? Anyway, remember when Monika said she left the debate club because of all the politics? Well, as someone whose father watches Fox News all the time, I completely get where she's coming from. While we're on the topic, I know I already kinda did this in my original video, and I know I don't need to do it as I shouldn't be ashamed of my own opinion, but gosh dang it, I need to stand up for a second about Monika Lisa here, because this is a thought that's been burdening me ever since that video. Unfortunately, I've kept on doubting and shaming myself simply for liking her, and I feel that talking about this right here, right now, will finally put an end to that. You see, I'm the kind of guy who gives a fair shake to every character in anything. Well, almost every character. And DDLC is no different, which obviously includes Monika. Now, like I said earlier, there's this stupid little voice in my head that keeps telling me, how dare you like Monika? She's a monster, and you're a dumb, horny fool for giving even a shred of sympathy for her.
Loser! You're a loser!
Go touch some grass, something you already do every day. And that little voice has been making it difficult for me to even enjoy being a DOKI fan lately. But now, I can safely say that I do forgive Monika for what she did, and that she's still my favorite of the quartet. Be gone, voice in my head. And before you ask, no, I'm not trying to say that Monika did nothing wrong, because of course she did. She shouldn't have tampered with her friends' personalities like that, among other things. But that's the point. She was so fixated on trying to break free from her pain and talk to a real person that she just overlooked her friends because they weren't real or whatever. And that's what makes her turnaround at the end work for me. Despite everything that occurred, she was still a flawed but good person deep down who cared about them. The DDLC Plus side stories also confirm this. If we get more official content down the road, I can totally imagine Monika ending up like Nebula. And for those of you who are also fans of the Infinity Saga, you know exactly what I'm talking about, considering the whole Project Libitina thing, and the lines, "time to be an effing hero." I'm pretty sure things would only get better with her, trying to save her friends, getting to shine in her true colors. To give you a better idea of why I forgive Monika, let's compare her to another character, more specifically, Golden Freddy from ZHQ37's FNAF series, in which Goldie succeeds at enacting his revenge, destroying the other animatronics who replaced him and his partner many years ago. He was blinded by his rage, and after completing his plans, he's regretful for everything he did, openly apologizing to Freddy and the gang later on, and doing his best to atone for his past mistakes. Eventually, he ends up becoming the leader of the animatronics, someone the protagonists can go to for help. And I don't think any fan of that series took issue with that at all. Now, doesn't that sound just a tad familiar, or at least in terms of regret and redemption? Connect the dots, and you can see why I'm not hostile towards Moni. Okay, I'm never using that name for her again. And I'm glad to see that some other people feel the same way. Obviously, I'm not trying to change the minds of anybody. It's alright to feel any way you want about her, but just remember that a redemption is a redemption, and once you take that into account, it honestly makes the game's end credits and her final note all the more heartfelt. As a wise spaghetti man once said,
I know what you did was wrong, and sometimes in life, we can do things that are horrible. But in the end, if you admit you're wrong and see that, and you try and if you try and change and better yourself from those past actions, you can be forgiven, you know. The person that you did the wrong to may not forgive you, but changing yourself and making yourself a better person can make a difference in this world, because if somebody does something that's wrong and they decided to change that into the future and make themselves into a kinder person, then they made a difference in themselves, and that's better than just staying in that wrong and ignoring the issue at hand.
couldn't have put it better myself. And if Monika truly was a bad person, then I don't think she would have brought everyone back, nor would she not have the gut to actually delete them. Also, someone told me that Monika was the one that reset the game after Sayori's death, not wanting her to suffer any further. I'll just let you be the ones to chew on that. However, my problem doesn't stem from a few people not accepting that she's a good person at heart. That's fine. Everyone can feel differently. But rather, it comes from how certain unofficial content, like those songs you all know I love, kinda, sorta misrepresent her. Like, if you hadn't ever seen DDLC before, and you watched, like, the Just Monika song, you might end up thinking that Monika is some clingy monster who wanted to
go out there and murder all of your friends. Yeah!
And in a way, this, dare I say it, kinda flanderizes her. They exaggerate some of her negative traits to the extreme. I mean, come on. She obviously doesn't display her dead friends being tortured like that. She didn't hang Sayori or stab Yuri herself. And some of this stuff makes it seem as if deleting her automatically fixes the game, and that it wasn't her choice to bring everyone back. I know this was usually done for simplicity or artistic flair, but I think about it every time I rewatch these videos, and it sometimes puts a bad taste in my mouth, or leaves me feeling a bit sad or empty. Whenever people make new content, great content mind you, I tend to keep my eye out for anything that perpetuates this. I'm looking at you, Vanamillan. This is why I often recommend people to play the game for themselves first, and then check everything else out. Or they can just watch Mark's playthrough, that works too. Otherwise, they might end up slightly misled, not understanding important parts of the story. I'm not saying it's a big deal, but still, I have no idea why I'm so defensive and self-conscious about this. Some of you may call me a psychopath supporter, or a sad, butthurt little simp, or whatever, but I don't care if they call me crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. Because no matter what happens, this is the hill I'll die on. And if I didn't speak about this here, then these thoughts would continue to haunt me. Okay, tangent over. Now on to the stuff you actually want to hear me talk about. Somehow, I never got around to telling you what my favorite DDLC mod is, but now I can. My favorite is, without a doubt, Albert Castle Walls, and for several reasons. Not only do I think it's an emotional roller coaster, but I have a very personal attachment to this one. Back on the very first night of this year, when my family was spending the night at our friend's house in Wisconsin, I stumbled upon a Canemonger video of this mod, and from there, I was very intrigued to see the rest. A little while later, my boy Jay started covering the entire mod, getting me super hyped, and by the time he finished, I knew exactly which mod was my new favorite. Seriously, thank you Mr. Zera for this mastercraft of an experience. What else do I want to bring up? Oh yeah, the whole U2's competition shebang, that was absolutely awesome. And speaking of awesome, I still think it's super cool that an episode of Gravity Falls managed to predict both Five Nights at Freddy's and DDLC, my top 2 favorite video games of all time. Even though there's several differences between them and the episode, mostly between what Monika and Giffany do after their deletion. Personally, I feel some of the similarities are more Yandere Simulator at the core of it all than just DDLC, but that's just me. And of course, thank God that the Just Art crew is still making greatness to this day.
Bird.
Okay, one last thing. Natsushi. Yes, just all day yes. Is that it? Yeah, I guess so. Once more, thank you Mr. Danny Boy for everything you've done. I know I already gushed about this, but I cannot reiterate enough just how much the universe and characters he's created have inspired us. From the endless stream of mods and cosplays, fan art and music, and so much more, its impact shouldn't be understated. It's even helped some people with their own personal issues, like their depression or social anxiety, or feelings of loneliness, which is truly beautiful. I've been a DOKI fan for almost a year now, and I sure ain't stopping anytime soon. It's an essential little piece of my life in recent times, one that means masses to me. Had it not been for this game, I wouldn't have met so many fantastic people.
Okay, everyone, before we close the door, we gotta share our poems.
Oh my god! Timing.
If you were to tell me, like, 4-5 years ago that I'd become a fan, an avid fan, if you will, of some random little visual novel thingy, I'd say you were completely out of your mind. But here we are today. My sudden fascination with this franchise is something I'll always appreciate and hold dearly, even with the rapid change of my life, and it's definitely not something I'd want to take back or trade off. Happy 5th anniversary, Doki Doki Literature Club. And now with this video done, let's move on to something different, something new, something else I've brought up doing multiple times. So with that, thank you all for watching. See you all next time.